Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is a speed build for a pirate build collab that I'm doing with Asphodel Moon. And yes, you are seeing this correctly and you did hear me correctly. It is a speed build. Everyone, I haven't done a speed build in my channel for months. Last time that I did one was obviously last year, but I think it was probably like September or October. And this is my first speed build for the year. And I am super excited, but I'm not gonna lie, I was very nervous. Of course, I was super thankful and surprised and happy at the same time that Asphodel Moon, contacted me and said that she wanted to do a collab with me. And but at the same time of, like, in regards to this speed build being my first one for the year, this collab is the first one that I've done for nearly a year and a few months. Last year I actually took a step back. I didn't do any collabs at all, and I think last year was really dedicated on Let's Plays and a few speed builds here and there for my project Evergreen Harbor, which I have still yet to finish, and I am still continuing to do that particular project of mine. But for anyone who watches my videos, you know that lately it has really been kind of focused towards Let's Plays because I'm enjoying that a lot. I'm enjoying playing with my Sims. I'm enjoying playing I'm enjoying the storytelling aspect of it, as well as just kind of doing like aspirations and traits and careers that I wouldn't normally do if I'm playing it just for myself. But obviously I've got the rules and guidelines set for me, which is what I find really enjoyable. So going back to this, as the name suggests, it's a pirate speed build, and I was talking about it with one of my friends from work and how I was excited for this collab and how I really kind of want to get some inspiration from Assassin's Creed, Black Flag and Pirates of the Caribbean. And he was actually telling me about all of these ideas, either like kind of make it into like a treasure map kind of thing, like actually build like a landscape or terrain, and the actual build itself is kind of like reminiscent of a treasure map, like a treasure hunt. And then I was telling him all about like a fort as well. So he actually gave me this inspiration of building a fort for the pirates to kind of loot and stuff. So I obviously went on Pinterest, kind of searched up forts, and it is actually a Lego build that inspired this particular one, which hopefully when I am editing this and kind of like listening back to my voiceover, I will remember to put the inspiration photo for this particular build right here. So that was the inspiration. That was the main inspiration for this build. And at first, not at first, everyone, I was, like I said, I was excited and nervous because I haven't done a build for so long, and I feel like every time I put up a speed build in my channel, I always say the exact same thing, like I am rusty. And I was super rusty, and that's why I was nervous, because I wanted to do a good job of this, and because of the fact that I am excited, so I'm kind of like putting very high expectations of myself. So I kind of did the exterior, and you can see me here doing the interior. So what I wanted to kind of replicate is that there is kind of like a main office for the commander-in-chief, and then kind of like a common room kind of thing, like a common dining room and dormitories for the soldiers that are under the commander-in-chief's command. And I actually wanted to show the fact that, you know, like they're not a neat bunch of soldiers. And that's why I think one of my favorite things to do, just for example for this particular dining room, is the fact that the chairs are all not neat and tidy. It's not in order, and it's kind of like wonky. It's placed at a wonky angle, or it's not even placed properly at all, because I don't know, they're probably always in a rush, because I guess they're there to kind of protect the citizens of, I'm gonna say, Tartosa, because this is where I've actually built this particular fort. So, you know, they're always in a rush, and I don't know, I feel like cleaning up after themselves is not exactly under top priority. So I kind of wanted to replicate that, you know, you've got drinks, you've got bottles of what, wine or brandy or rum, even though those are technically drinks for the pirates. And you've got, and I kind of wanted to show like they've got caskets of wine there for supplies, like food and drink supplies for the soldiers that would have inhabited this particular fort. And then after, so I actually did this, I think the exterior and part of this interior in one day. And I actually showed, of course, one of my good friends, Cozy Simmer, for advice, and just kind of like asking her like, hey, what do you think? Because I remember when I was building this particular section of the fort, I wasn't feeling, or I guess I was feeling very nervous that I wasn't doing a very good job of it. And I asked her like, what do you think, like advice, like does it need more personality? And she actually kind of like told me like, hey, you know, the fact that you've got all of those like bottles and the chairs are not neat and tidy, that's already the personality, that's the character. And like reading her message, I was just like, oh yeah, you are right, like yeah, there is personality there, there is character there. So I was very, and that kind of put some, I don't know, confidence in me, because like I said, everyone, it's been such a long time since I was in build mode, and I haven't, as much as building was my first love for The Sims 4, like I really enjoyed building. But I think, again, like I said, how I kind of took Let's Plays as a priority in my channel, but also the fact that, you know, I really enjoyed being able to release content regularly. And I know that for speed builds, I am not a fast builder at all. I am very slow, and unfortunately I'm not like one of our great simmers who are great builders that can build a build in such a short amount of time. Usually for me it takes me a few days, just so then, because I actually do like to take my time, and I could really tell when the inspiration or the motivation is no longer there. So I would kind of go back to the build after a few days with fresh eyes and hopefully with fresh ideas. So this is basically the common dining room and the kitchen, and I don't think you will see me furnish the toilet, but I literally just gave them a wash basin and I gave them a chamber pot. So originally I wanted to put the chamber pot that we got from, I think it's for the infants, but it was just so small, so I ended up using kind of like an actual pot itself and kind of sized it down. And then what I really enjoyed about this is actually putting some cobwebs and cracks along the walls, because it wouldn't be like, this fort wouldn't necessarily be a new fort, like it's old, it's probably seen some some I would say, not is it violence, but more of like, you know, maybe pirates have kind of come and gone into this place and kind of looted it from its treasures and whatnot. So it's seen a few shares of like guns and cannons and stuff. So that's why I wanted to put like the cracks in the wall and the cobwebs. And the other kind of like decoration that we got for rent as well, which, and going back everyone, the other thing is, because I haven't been in build mode, I haven't seen or used any of the new things that came from the expansion packs, the kits, the stuff packs, the game packs. And remember, I'm always doing let's plays, so if I would furnish a Sims rooms, it will be the bare minimum. Like what I mean by that is I would only really look at the catalog for such a short amount of time, and it's usually just for decoration purposes. So I wouldn't necessarily look at wallpaper or like, yeah, I wouldn't look at wallpaper, or maybe like the, not beds, but maybe the like the bookcases and stuff. So this is my first time seeing this bookcase, and I know it came from the new stuff pack, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it actually looks so nice. And some of the decorations that I'm using over there is from that stuff pack as well. And this is kind of like the main office of the commander-in-chief, and I wanted to kind of like give that impression. Like, I was originally looking for any maps or anything like that that I could potentially put on the table, just to show that, you know, they were looking at the maps and stuff, and because I feel like that this is where they would congregate as well. But I did see a map as a painting, so I ended up using that, and then I ended up putting like some jewelry and a treasure chest that you saw back then, because in Assassin's Creed usually it's that kind of loot that our character would loot, if that makes sense. And then we are going back to the exterior, and this is where I'm kind of like finalizing. No, actually no, I'm not finalizing anything yet, but I wanted to recreate the courtyard where, you know, most of them would hang out and they would patrol. So what I wanted to, I remember when I was furnishing this, it's kind of like I was trying to remember what the characters in Assassin's Creed would do, and usually they would have like people, or no, soldiers patrolling. Like they would walk back and forth, or they would kind of like be sitting in front of a fireplace or anything like that. So that's what I wanted to recreate here, and I'm pretty sure you'll see me. Yeah, so this is the first one. So this is actually the front of the fort, and again, I was picturing soldiers literally just chilling here throughout, like 24/7. Obviously they would do kind of like some shift work of some sort, but I would kind of picture them just literally guarding the area over here. So when I was building this, I think I was kind of envisioning it, what I would see in an Assassin's Creed game. So then I'm building the walls, and originally I was thinking of a fence, but then I'm like, no, it's a fort. They would most likely have high walls, or like in Assassin's Creed, no walls are high enough for whoever to kind of like go up and into the fort anyway. And then I ended up using that particular window from the werewolf pack. Originally when I placed it in, I'm like, no, like that doesn't make any sense. And then I thought, hey, you know what, again, it would kind of be similar to Assassin's Creed. Like for some reason there would be kind of like a hole in the wall that is not necessarily like, it's kind of hidden or tucked away somewhere, or there would be something in front of it. So that's why I ended up putting like this cart of hay, because anyone out there who plays Assassin's Creed, you know how there's always a cart of hay somewhere where our character can literally just kind of jump in and hide and, you know, be able to assassinate soldiers, unfortunate soldiers who kind of walk around, or who would walk in front of it. So that's what I ended up using, and I kind of like strategically placed it in front of the hole. So for some reason I really liked doing that. I'm just like, oh my gosh, yes, like of course I would kind of incorporate that particular Assassin's Creed element into this build, because I feel like it fits, you know. So I really enjoyed it, and of course I'm kind of putting like the decorations and stuff again on it, just the cracks on the wall, on the exterior walls. And then I'm kind of like, this is me just kind of starting to do a shape of the exterior, and this is, I actually put that in there in the video, which is gone now, because originally I was thinking of kind of putting something that would resemble what the town might look like, and I was kind of picturing like people doing some woodworking over there near a furnace for something but then it just didn't, I don't know, like it didn't fit well in my eyes when I was looking at it from afar. So then I ended up asking for my brother for help, for some ideas, and then originally he said, oh, you know, like why not a training ground? And I said, I don't have anything in The Sims that could kind of replicate a training ground, because it just looks too modern. So I ended up putting like maybe another area where other soldiers would kind of patrol, because again, it's similar to Assassin's Creed, like it's not just the fort, there's something else. And then again, I wanted to kind of show the treasure chest, pirates, for them, like pirates, or not pirates, but treasures for pirates to loot. And yeah, everyone, I really hope, I'm pretty sure I'm ending the end of this speed build, but I'll probably kind of like voice over through the screenshots anyway. But I really hope that you have enjoyed this speed build video from me. I absolutely loved going back to build mode again. So thank you to Asphodel Moon 1 for asking me to do a collaboration with you. So thank you very much that you remembered me. And second, for literally taking me out of my Let's Plays and bringing me back to what I originally loved, which is build mode. So thank you. And I hope that you are enjoying the screenshots. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all into the next one. See ya. Bye.